Here are 5 things you might want to know about the W3ll People Foundation Stick before you buy it. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Britt, creator of the Style Shaker, and you are probably thinking about buying a foundation stick. Is it worth the 25 bucks? That's what I'm going to try to help you figure out today. This foundation stick marks the, 610th review that I've done over here. It's been a lot of reviews. And only 30 to 40 on average make it into the Britt's Picks page every season. One page, all my favorites all in one spot. Will this foundation stick find its way into Britt's Picks? And will it be a fit for you as well? We're gonna find out. Here are the 5 things that I'm gonna cover. They're all based on my scorecard system. Link below if you wanna learn more. It keeps everything really objective here so you can figure out what to buy and more importantly, what not to buy. So you don't waste your money, honey. At the very end of the video, you will hear my honest opinion, my final verdict, whether or not I'd buy it again or what I would buy instead. Before I dive in, if you like these types of brutally honest reviews and you wanna keep seeing more of them and you find them helpful, please take 2 seconds, hit that like button, share with a friend. It's a little thing over here that makes a huge difference, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. Links to everything I mentioned below in the description. It starts with the first question, all about ingredients. I reviewed this years ago. I do not have the new stick. I ordered the new stick from Target, but they sent the old packaging, which is okay, but I kind of wish I had gotten the new packaging, but you know, waste not, want not, so I'm gonna use it. I don't want to send it back because then it'll just end up in a landfill. The claim here is that there are plant-based ingredients like castor seed, safflower seed oil, and vitamin E. Plant-based does not always mean clean, right? Let's just put that out there. Clean is not regulated by any industry or any brand, but I did see all of these really nourishing ingredients up at the top of the list, so it looked good to me. Please read the disclaimer on the screen right about now. Okay. Also, it's EWG verified, which if you'd asked me about that 5 years ago, I would have said has to be. Now I'm like, great, but it's not the end all be all. No major red flags for me. Moving on to the next thing you might want to know about this one. Application. So this is where foundation sticks can kind of shine because they make it easy, right? They're very travel friendly. They're very easy to just go pew, 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 and you're done. And you make that noise too because like it's part of the process. The claims here are that this is a weightless, very creamy formula. They say the word creamy kind of a lot. Blends into the skin, I talk with my hands, and helps you achieve a flawless complexion. Well, FYI, my goal is not flawless. I just like to use things like this for quick evening out or spot touch-ups, which is also what they mention it's easily used for. Let's talk about tools. They make a difference. So I prep my skin with moisturizer, SPF, depending on the season. It's either just SPF or sometimes I need the extra moisture. Right now I need the extra moisture. Then I would use my fingers, or I would use a kabuki brush, or I would use a sponge. I tried all 3 here when applying. The stick itself was very easy, very creamy, slid right onto the skin, so that was fine. What worked best for me was the sponge when I was doing a larger area. When I was doing spot touch-ups, of course my finger just pressing it in worked better. They also claim that this is a multitasker, so it's supposed to be a foundation, a concealer, and a bronzer. No. Maybe a foundation and a concealer. Maybe a foundation and a concealer. I might give them that, but it depends on the shade you get. You would need more than one, I would imagine, to make this a concealer, a foundation, and a bronzer. So I would just kind of, remove that from the product page maybe. Seems like a weird claim. I get the multitasking element of it. Overall for application, super simple once I figured out the right tool. 4 out of 5 on the scorecard. The next thing you might want to hear about is kind of important for these types of products. Coverage. Does it cover? Does it do what it say it's going to do? Funnily enough, I did not see a promise when it comes to the level of coverage. So usually you'll see this is a light to medium coverage, this is a full coverage, it's buildable coverage, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get any of that, so I didn't have any claim to bounce it off against up there. But I would say this gave light to maybe medium coverage, and I could build up, and I saw some good evening out. It's a very easy evening out where it feels lightweight going on, but it's also lighter weight just because you're not using as much product like a liquid foundation that you put everywhere. You're not. You're just applying this in key places, so it's again really good for on the go or travel. Coverage, I debated. I was gonna give it a 3, but then I gave it a 4. I'm sticking with a 4 out of 5. The finish. It can make or break a product, how it looks after you apply it. Promise here is a natural satin finish. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. It's right in the middle. Hair flips, it absolutely gave a natural finish. It was easy enough to do that with because again, it's not going everywhere, but wherever it went, it looked very natural in terms of that kind of, I would say maybe satin if we want to use that terminology. Not dewy, not matte. Midday touch-ups were also pretty easy with this. I mean, I think you could use it alone and press it in with your finger. The only problem with the finish was, well, usually I have to give it a couple of minutes to settle in so I don't prejudge it, and I test these things for a few weeks. This one, it gave texture where there was none, so it got a ding for that. Finish was a 3 out of 5. It wasn't crazy noticeable, but you guys know I look into these high magnification mirrors to give myself a heart attack. If you have drier skin, you might see a little bit more texture. I'm not sure, but you can share your thoughts and experiences with this and also include your skin type because I love having other perspectives here. All right, the next question is wear test. How did this last? The claim, I wish they hadn't given it this, long lasting all day wear. I did not see that on my skin. End of day wear test. I can see some of the separating in texture that I was talking about. I said I would not set this. I don't feel like it needed setting. I don't feel like it was heavy in any way, shape, or form. So there was no sliding or anything like that. It just gathered and gave a little bit of texture. And from afar, the ruddiness sort of showed through by the end of the day. I actually haven't found a stick foundation that lasts really, really well yet. Yeah, it just didn't look great by the end of the day. I gave it a 3 out of 5 on the wear test. I like to think about the earth a little bit over here. So let's look at packaging. There are no refills available. That's an automatic ding for me. Can we just make everything in a refill at this point? We do print boxes on FSC certified paper, exploring ways to use corn, sugar, and PCR for their containers. So like they're continually exploring these things. Not the best, not gonna lie. Shade inclusivity, 14 shades are available. They seem to give a solid spectrum. I think they did an okay job there. The final score for this product is a somewhat bummer-esque 14 out of 20. Would I buy it again? I really like the concept of a foundation stick. I used to use them all the time. When I first started this channel, I used foundation sticks all the time. I actually use the Vapor foundation stick a lot. It is not a normal foundation stick. Normal, I use that word sparingly, but it is more of a glowy foundation stick. It's not like your full coverage. Foundation sticks are tricky because they're not going to give you automatic full coverage. Usually, there's definitely some out there that can do it. This is not one of them. I found that I liked this most when I would have put on maybe just an SPF or a tinted moisturizer and say I needed just a little bit more evening out in certain spots. Dab it on the finger and just kind of spot treat on the face. It was very lightweight, easy for travel. It's just that finish deteriorated by the end of the day for me. That plus packaging, I just am not going to be one to repurchase this product. The other stick foundations that I've tried, not that many. I've tried a ton of foundations, but not that many stick foundations. So I'm going to start kind of digging into this little landscape. I've tried Mented Cosmetics, and I have also tried the Vapor stick foundation that I already mentioned. Both were okay. They're pretty good. I need to retest the Vapor foundation stick. So that's coming up. I have a newbie waiting to be tested in the test kitchen. Really, because I like to use this as a touch-up, this is one thing I wanted to say, I almost forgot. You can do that with a concealer. You can do it with a concealer. The RMS concealer, the Air Perez concealer, I've reviewed many a concealer. The pot concealers are so good for that. That's all I have to say about that. So there is the scorecard review. Now you know my humble opinion, maybe not so humble. Now you know my honest opinion. My word is not gospel in the least. So please let me know what you think about this stick foundation. Price is great. It's just not the performance that I wanted to see. But if you loved it, let me know in the comments below and also include your skin type. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information helpful and you want to keep seeing more of these honest reviews, please take 2 seconds to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna go put this away, test out some more stick foundations. We'll start with the Vapor, we'll go from there, and I will see you right back here real soon. Until then, bye. Peepo, peepo, peepo. No. That sounds not good. No.